So there are two things that we'll do in the class today. One is obviously the two words that we share, and then we will talk about the topic that we have considered for today.
Okay, sir. So two also mine are today. So first, okay, first of all, it was not two words. Actually, it was two idioms.
Okay.
So first idiom it's uh, call a quits. Call a
Okay.
quits means suppose you are injured in sports or during playing, so you can quit the game or you can quit the sport.
Hmm.
So it is called call it a quits. So my
Okay.
first example is uh, today I got injured in football playing, so I called it a quits instantly.
Hmm.
And my second example is don't worry if you are feeling a low, then you can call it a quits.
Hmm.
Today my second idiom is show your cards. Show your cards means to tell secrets.
Hmm.
So my first example is bro, we are friends. So no need to keep secret. Please show your cards.
Hmm.
And my second example is that that you are hiding some secret. So please show your cards right now.
Hmm. Okay. So you have chosen two very commonly used idioms, and people would not find it very difficult to follow. So that kind of makes it easy to follow or easy to understand. Calling it a quits is always like, as you said, it's quitting something immediately, or leaving something halfway through, or even it can be related to something like where you want to give up on some bad habits. Okay. So you can always say that, okay, I've been smoking for quite some time. I want to call it a quits. So the only thing I would suggest, Swaroop, for both the idioms that he used was you were making sentences in a way that you were kind of explaining the idioms. That is where the the power of the idiom kind of gets little compromised. So you will say that, okay, you are keeping secrets, brother. We are friends. Show your cards. You can use that in a little what you call uh, cryptic way. I'll just give you some examples. Okay. I will show my cards when the time comes. So I mean, the assumption here is the person in front of us with whom we are talking, where we are using those idioms, is also equally uh, what you call capable. I mean, there was nothing wrong with your sentences, but what I'm saying is you can use that in a way where you show the power of it. Okay. So with the idioms, you have to always keep people a little baffled with your with your communication skill. Somebody who knows about it will appreciate. Somebody who doesn't will get excited to know about it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that is where you kind of earn some extra brownie points. So, but yeah, overall selection of idioms were perfectly fine, and the sentences that you made, that those were also grammatically correct. We just have to kind of fit that in the perspective in a way that you kind of get that extra attention that you want to. All right.
Sir, I have just one question.
Mhm.
So my first idiom is call it a quits. So actually, it a quits. So how can we say a quits? I mean, a quit. It was correct, but we have to say that a quits. Quits.
So see, you will use it calling it a quit or calling it a quits depending on where you're using it. So when you say that when it comes to leaving some bad habits for myself, I want to call it a quit. So that is for myself. When I'm talking about a third person, he was calling it a quits. So basically, you can relate it. I mean, calling it a quit or calling it a quits, both are fine grammatically. You just have to fit it, depending on uh, the the noun against which you are using. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, both are easy to use idioms. Okay, I mean, you can always say, I mean, I want to leave this. I want to quit this. Instead of that, you can make it a little more cryptic, more interesting by saying, no, I want to call it a quits. You can always relate that, with respect to, your uh, what you call college life also, right? I always plan to prepare in the last towards the, last lap of the exam, but it has not been helping. I want to call that habit a quit. So you can kind of, use it wherever you want to kind of inject that idiom to make it more impressive. Okay. All right. Any other question, Swaroop, before we move forward?
No, sir. From my side,
Okay.
no
So,
questions.
okay. So then what we can do is, just in the interest of time, we can go to the second part of this class, where you have to share your point of view, or, kind of explain what is what is your opinion about the topic that we have chosen for today. Okay. So, and if you remember the topic, it was about India's role in establishing peace in the world arena. And when I picked up that topic, my intention was to get everybody's point of view on how and what role India can play for establishing peace in the world, knowing the current situation of, all the war, or, all the rivalry that we are seeing between different countries, different group of countries for that matter. And again, we have to stay away from making any political statement, but yeah, just an opinion.
Okay. So first of all, thank you, sir, for giving me the chance to speak in front of you. So today the topic is that uh, the topic is actually the peace movement by India, something like I forgot just. What is the topic, sir? Actually,
I can.
Acha, oh, sorry. India's role in establishing peace in the world.
Yes.
So, from my point of view, I can say that India has historically played a significant role in advocating for and contributing to global peace and stability. Several factors contribute to India's role in promoting peace on international stage. So, I'm going to give you some context about that. So, today my first context is non-aligning movement. So India was one of the founding members of non-alignment movement during the Cold War, because at that time uh, India neither took the side of Rus or or the side of American. So India stayed as a diplomatic choice or diplomatic power on that time. So India uh, took supports and subsidy both from Rus and American. So India got crude oil at very cheap price from Rus, and India got technology, technology in some kind of industry like aviation, or jet engine technology, even the cheap technology from Americans. And my second context is peacekeeping operation. So India is the second peacekeeping country in the world, because India has deployed around 7,000 troops all over the world for peacekeeping operation, like uh, to take care of flood victims, to take care of victims in the war. So even in Russia-Ukraine war also, India is doing its peacekeeping operation by deploying some. troops and some volunteers also. And my third context is diplomatic initiative. So to judge the current era of war, so India neither took the side of Russia or neither took the side of Ukraine. So India is not on any kind of side uh, to any other country. So India uh, totally remains diplomatic for this kind of war. And
Yeah, please go
and
ahead.
there is hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Please go ahead.
Okay. So there are many castes and many religions in India also, but India sometimes violence goes up, but uh, India always takes some major steps to get it correct or to stabilize the situation. So India is also doing the same for the world also. So I am going to conclude it in this way that India's commitment to peace is reflected in its policy choice and diplomatic engagements and contribution to global initiative by emphasizing non-alignment, peacekeeping efforts, diplomatic uh, diplomatic meditation, diplomatic mediation, and advocating for disarmament. And India contribute to play a significant role in fostering peace and stability on the world stage. And that is from my side.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Yep. So there are a couple of things that I liked. I mean, there are some small pieces. Okay. So a couple of things that I liked, which I always keep on asking about, right? One is that you have to always supplement some data points around what you say, and you kind of touched upon those aspects pretty nicely. You talked about India having deployed 7,000 plus troops for for ensuring peace across different regions, different countries, different places where it is needed. Likewise, you talked about India being quite diverse when it comes to the ethnicity prevailing within the country, and that makes it very sensitive for us also. Even keeping that in mind, uh, our efforts, our country's effort towards ensuring that peace across different regions in the world, even if we know that we have some of the the homegrown problems also that we have to address. So these were some of the very impressive data points that you added to kind of substantiate your uh, you know, uh, reasoning around why we are important in the world arena, and what kind of a role India can play and what India has already been playing. And then second thing that you mentioned about India being the second country which always work towards you know uh, uh, ensuring peace across the globe. When only thing that was missing in that part was, or where I was kind of getting lost a little bit, was you said that India is the second country. Now, if you're saying India is the second country, we have to also mention why it is second and who is the first, and what is the gap or what is the reason behind that. So that was an information which I was kind of little bit stuck with, but otherwise your your flow of this topic was pretty, I would say professional or pretty apt. Primarily because you did the context setting, you substantiated your point of view with data, and then you concluded also saying that knowing all that, this is what we have seen, this is what we have observed, and everybody agrees to that India is playing a very important role in establishing peace in the world forum. So very well presented, Swaroop. I'm seeing that gradual improvement, or the the structure in the way you are presenting your thoughts. So that's well done.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So ultimately, communication is about two people talking to each other. Uh, and when we have more participants, that makes it more comprehensive. But at least if we have two, that is good enough to kind of establish that quorum actually. Okay. So
Sir,
anything
what I
else?
think, I mean, sometimes I need to be so fluent. I mean, I got stuck at some point, so that is not okay for me, I think. I mean, I got to be more fluent in this sense.
In fact, no, you need to be fluent with your thought process. Fluency with speaking is something that can be, that can be played around with. I'll tell you. I mean, I'll give you some examples. Okay, like I would have shared with you sometime in the past that I have a physical disability, that my tongue gets stuck sometimes while pronouncing some words. So if that is happening ever with me, what I would smartly do is I will let the audience know, instead of me struggling with myself with my, physical disability. I'll call it out. I'll say that, gentlemen, just give me a second. It seems like my tongue is not supporting me here. Let me pronounce this little differently, right? So let's say a word ambidextrous. I'm getting stuck with that word, and my tongue is not helping me. I'll say, let me break it down and say this word because my tongue is not helping me out. And you have to have a smile so that, no, you can overcome that problem in a way that people actually appreciate you for that. So I'll say, okay, maybe I'm getting stuck in stating this sentence. Let me rephrase myself. When you say let me rephrase myself, you're buying some time for yourself to say that again. So when it comes to communication, it's not about starting with a gentle pace, finishing that without any hiccups or without any flaws. It's just about making sure that communication starts and ends in a very structured way. If you're getting stuck somewhere, you can always use those techniques for letting the audience know that I'm getting stuck. Let me try rephrasing it. Or or even you can say, oh yeah, this word is way too complicated for me. Let me complicated for me to pronounce. Let me use a simpler word. And then you state your, rephrase your sentence. Right? Let's say calling it a quits. When you're using it and you are kind of, getting jumbled up with the sentence, right? You can say, okay, let me rephrase it. In a simple way, I can always say that I want to quit this. And then you continue. So always use those techniques for for using excuses and buying time. Okay. I see my vocal cord may not be as great as any other singer or any other orator or any spokesperson for that matter. That doesn't mean that I cannot communicate well, right? I can always use a simpler sentence. No, nothing goes wrong, right? People would not kind of assess or gauge you or me for the usage of vocabulary. They will gauge or assess us for clarity of thoughts, for ensuring transparency in the communication, ensuring what we say is heard the way it is supposed to be heard or understood. Okay. तो
Okay, sir, that's quite inspiring for me.
हाँ, तो उसमें वही बोल रहा हूँ कि इसमें कुछ भी गड़बड़ नहीं होता, देखो कहीं पे भी फंसेंगे ना, ठीक है. Okay, let me take a step back. Let me try rephrasing it. Okay, I'm getting stuck here. Let me say it out, no, in a different way. So when you use those techniques, right, people will see that you have that confidence to play with your communication, right? Play with it. When you play, you do your best job. When you get nervous or you get skeptic about what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're meaning, that is when you start blabbering, and you kind of compromise your, chances for impressing the other person. So don't blabber, don't rush. When you're getting stuck, slow down, get an excuse, buy time, say it again. मतलब ऐसा हो सकता है इंटरव्यू में आप जाओगे तो ऐसा, सी somebody asks you a question and you say something which is probably, you realize that okay, you said something which is not right. You can always take a step back. Okay, let me take a step back, and let me rephrase what I said, or let me start over again. So that way, your clarity, your conviction, your confidence, that impresses the person. सी अगर मान लो मैं मैथ कर रहा हूँ, अगर 10 times 20 किया 200 के बदले मैंने 190 अगर बोल दिया, that is not something that is written in stone. I can say, oh, okay, I made a very stupid mistake here. Let me change my answer. It is not 190. It is going to be 200, and that's fine. Ultimately, सामने लोगों को जानना है कि आपको आता क्या है, ठीक है? So कभी भी कोई भी communication में, I mean, use that as a technique. कभी कोई गलती हुआ, just get put an excuse. Say, okay, sorry, I said something wrong. Let me correct myself, and then you see it again. Okay.
All right, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, I have, I mean, another doubt. Sir,
Hmm.
actually, the pronunciation of this word H-E-I-R, H-E-I-R. This
Hmm.
pronounce. What is the pronunciation actually? Please tell
H
me. I mean,
so
ear or here?
HEIR.
Huh.
So let's hear it from Google. Okay, you don't have to trust me. I have not used that word very often. So let's hear it from Google. Hair, hair, hair. So see, HEIR is hair. Now let's see how they pronounce here. When we compare this, right, then you will know. So HEIR is hair.
Ear.
HER is here. Now let's look at the next word, which is HAIR, hair. So hair और hair में क्या difference देखते हैं? Hair. So hair, HEIR or HAIR, both are pronounced in the same way. Hair. So the
So, but
meaning of the word,
H-E-I-R means air. So, I mean, I googled it, but it's pronounced like air. H-E-I-R and A-I-R. So these two are same in pronunciation. Actually, Indian pronunciation I'm talking about.
right, right. So that's what I'm saying. So Indian pronunciation, there's no Indian pronunciation of any of the English words. We have either American pronunciation or we have British pronunciation, right?
Hmm.
So what we find in Google is the American version of it, right? So see, HEIR. Let's hear it one more time. HEIR. I have asked here. So it sounds more like air. अभी देखना है,
Air.
HAIR देखते हैं कैसा बोलता है. Okay, air और hair है वो. So HAIR is hair. HEIR is air. Air.
Air.
H को silent कर देता थोड़ा. So now you have
Okay,
taught me.
AIR means air, and this is air, same pronunciation. Like AIR, air, and HEIR means also air. I mean, the
Right.
pronunciation is same for these
Correct.
two.
Correct. Correct. Now let's see what is the meaning of this word, because that's my motivation for the class, right? HEIR. It says a person legally entitled to the property or rank of another on that person's death.
Sir, ears means actually sun, means हाँ सन
Right.
बोलते हैं इसको, SON सन, तो उसको ही बोलते हैं एयर. मतलब
Right.
जब पुराना युग में मतलब राजा जब था ना, तब उसका सन को ऐसे बोलते थे
Right.
एयर. HEIR.
Right. That's what it says. His eldest son and heir. So ये थोड़ा powerful English है. मतलब you will not hear this word very often. But yeah, this is a what do you call, a deep rooted English word which people with what do you call, the language proficiency will use more. Heir. Okay, that's good. Son को heir भी बोल सकते हैं. Somebody who is the legal owner of the things basically after your death. Hmm. Legally entitled person, a person legally entitled to the property or rank. Okay, that's good. Air. All right. Tomorrow, no, once you clear your interview, then I will claim that I have 100% success rate. Huh? And
Sir, I
and
don't know actually I will clear interview or not,
you
but I
will
suppose
clear.
so I could clear the interview.
You will clear. इसमें clear होगा या अगले में clear होगा, that we don't know, but होगा तो clear जरूर. See, it's people among us who get selected or rejected. The differentiation or the reason for selection or rejection is, as I told, right? It's just a matchmaking process. Okay. If the interviewer finds you the right fit for the role that he or she is looking for, that is when you get picked up. If the interviewer doesn't find that match, it could be because of multiple reasons. It will not be because of your English communication. It will be because of what he or she is looking for versus what you are able to showcase in that interview. Okay. So every interview that you face, that actually brings a great amount of learning for the interviewee and interviewer both. The interviewer gets to know what kind of people I'm kind of getting exposed to versus what I'm looking for, and the interviewer gets to know, did I do a good job with respect to how I had to present my skills, and was I you know uh, kind of aware of what they're looking for, and was I able to establish that the correlation between my knowledge and the requirement actually उतना ही है. तो एक इंटरव्यू में क्लियर हो गया तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. नहीं हुआ तो बता रहा हूँ कि दैट विल मेक यू इवन अ स्ट्रॉन्गर पर्सन फॉर द नेक्स्ट इंटरव्यू. That's
Yes,
how
sir,
it is.
obviously.
So go to the interview with a very sportsman approach. Say, okay, let's see what happens today. If you go with that kind of mindset, right, that fearless attitude towards interview is what makes you successful. बिंदास हो जाना, देखते हैं आज क्या होता है. If you go with that mindset, you will see it comes to you as a pleasant surprise. If you go with that fear, अरे पता नहीं मैं पास करूंगा कि नहीं, मेरे सिलेक्ट करेगा कि नहीं. किसकी औकात है यार तुमको सिलेक्ट करने या रिजेक्ट करने की? इट इज यू हु डिसाइड्स. मेरे बैच में मतलब जो लोग मेरे जैसे फर्स्ट सेकंड राउंड में इंटरव्यू क्लियर कर गए, दे गॉट अ जॉब एंड दे सेटल डाउन कि भाई हो गया, इससे आगे कुछ नहीं. जिन लोगों ने क्लियर नहीं किया इंटरव्यू में, दे वेंट फॉर पब्लिक सर्विसेज एग्जाम्स. कुछ लोगों ने आईएएस भी क्लियर किया, कुछ लोगों ने मैनेजमेंट क्लियर किया. वो लोग अभी आज के डेट में आईएम में प्रोफेसर बन के बैठे हुए हैं. मेरे बैच से 3 लोग हैं जो लोग की आईएम्स में प्रोफेसर है या आईआईटी में प्रोफेसर है. I mean, my batch, when I say, I'm talking about 33 people actually. मतलब ईयर बैक को होने के बाद में
Okay.
33 people only we had. तो उसमें से 2 लोग आईएम में प्रोफेसर हैं, एक आईआईटी कानपुर में है, और एक यहाँ पे यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ क्लेमसन में राहुल राय. ये 4 लोग तो टीचिंग में चले गए, बचते हैं 29. उसमें से 3-4 लोग इन्फोसिस में अभी भी, including me, and then remaining people are in different companies. मतलब आईटी में मुझे लगता है नहीं भी तो और भी 7-8 लोग और होंगे. कुछ लोग पब्लिक सेक्टर में है, कुछ कोर इंडस्ट्री में. एंड whoever did not clear interview in the first go, they were heading for a much better bigger thing actually. तो अगर हो गया तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, नहीं हुआ तो इससे भी बढ़िया कुछ होगा. ऐसा that's how you have to look at it.
Yes.
इसलिए
So actually they learn from their mistakes and they did better for that.
करेक्ट. तो देखो ऐसा है ना कि अगर कोई एक बार भी इंटरव्यू क्लियर कर लेता है तो दैट मीन्स दैट पर्सन इज रेडी टू टू गेट मैरिड टू द जॉब. ओके. जिसका जो पीपल हु टेक मोर टाइम, दे गेट मोर एक्सपोजर, दे लर्न मोर, एंड दैट्स हाउ दे बिकम मोर क्वालिफाइड फॉर बेटर थिंग्स एक्चुअली. तो होना और नहीं होना दोनों ही अच्छा इवेंट है. हो गया तो अच्छा, नहीं हुआ तो और भी अच्छा.